Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the Scrap 5 Challenge. And if you'd like to join us, you can use hashtag Scrap5 on Instagram so we can see the layout you create with this month's recipe. Today I'm going to have a twofer. I'm going to have a layout share first, and then a layout process video. I did the process video first, but it turned out kind of on the blurry side, so you might not want to watch it. But if you do, thank you so much. But I am doing the layout share for all of you that don't want to stick around for it. This is my layout, and it is of little Gracie when she's just a couple of months old. And the list for this month, it includes, of course, 5 things because it's scrap 5. But the first one on there is scrap lift a layout. So the layout I decided to scrap lift is by Allison Davis, and it's one she just recently posted. And it's super cute. It has hearts on it, which I love, and some mixed media. And I used very little. Well, ink is really all that I used. And it's pink one. It's a distress oxide that's pink. Spun sugar, that's what it is. And instead of the paper and a little bit darker mixed media, I used some wood grain paper and some hearts. So I added even more hearts on my layout. The Scrap 5 list also includes splatters. So I used Mr. Huey's bookworm and splattered it on the layout. And it says stamping. So I used Tim Holtz tiny text, and there I put like 3 lines down there at the bottom and saved the extra because I stamped the whole thing out, of course. And I have the hearts, I'm showing them, the ones on the left that I have layered. And then I have 2 of the Kaiser Craft ones, and then one more that is it's a heartbeat one, and it's a border for a card. So I had to hand cut the bottom part of it to make it look more like a heartbeat. But I used both of the Kaiser Craft ones on there, and I did cut them in the wood grain. And I added some wood grain to the left and right, thinking for some reason that the sketch had paper on the left and the right hand side, but it don't. Take my word for it. I noticed it after I put my wood grain on there, but I left it because I liked it. And I used 2 of the Echo Park die sets for my title. I used the brushstroke looking one there on the left for the word heart, and then I used the letter box for the smaller letters, and use the wood grain also for them too. I used these 2 paper pads, are both Cartabella, and I was wanting colors that, well, just colors I liked is what I ended up using on there. And they made the hearts on there, and then I used it was a scrap piece of paper to fussy cut the flowers that you see on the layouts out. I put the hearts on foam tape, and some of them I adhered right to the layout. So far I've named 4 things that's on the recipe, but one of them I hadn't mentioned, and it is the cardstock background. So I used just a white background, mostly to make my ink show up. I thought about using a colored piece that was kind of a peachy color, a lightest version of the peach in the flowers. But then I decided my pink wouldn't show up, and I really wanted to use pink. So I went ahead and used the white. But you'll probably hear all this again in the process video if you stick around for it. But yeah, I did not notice it was making it blurry. And the thing is, I've done 3 layouts that haven't got voiceovers. So yeah, it's kind of late for them. I might have to do a share on each of them. But if you stick around, thank you so much. The photo I am scrapping is of Gracie, and it's probably about the same size as the 2 that Allison used. But when I was trimming it down, though, I thought I was getting them pretty small. but when I actually laid it on the layout, it looked much bigger. I'm showing everything I'm using here, including dies, um, well, mostly dies. And the collection I'm using is Echo Park. Well, it's two collections, and they're 6x6 paper pads. And this wood grain, my mind went blank for a second there. This wood grain was also in the collection, I believe. No, it's Craft Consortium, and I had put it in there. I'm using this Distress Oxide with the pastel color that I was talking about earlier. And then I am sprinkling, for my splatter, it was on the list, I am splattering on Mr. Huey's Bookworm. So I have cardstock already and Mr. Huey's Bookworm as my splatters. I did put my picture up on foam tape and I started to put it down and I thought, oh, I wanted a banner to grow across here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. And the reason I'm putting my picture first is because I want to make sure I have room for it. Because like I said, when I actually went to lay it on top of the paper, when I was stacking everything there, it looked bigger than when I was trimming it. Allison has a darker mixed media in the background, and then she has some strips of paper and stitching. She does have stitching. I don't. I went ahead and with the same wood grain, I cut out 3 different heart shapes. And this one's kind of like a heartbeat. And I'm going to put it across the top. And then I have 2 other borders of hearts to put across there. And the other 2 are Kaiser Craft. And I did put foam tape on them. I did it in advance because I knew I was going to have to cut it in little tiny pieces. So when I die cut them out, I did it. And this one had to have really thin pieces. So I kind of stretched them out. I cut them thin, but they weren't thin enough. And rather than scrap the piece that I cut that was really thin, I just stretched it out to make it small enough to go on there. And then just added liquid glue on it to hold it onto the layout. So I'm scrap lifting a layout. I use my cardstock background. I've added hearts and more hearts is what I'm adding now. And the splatters are already on there. So the last thing I have is stamping. And that's the stamp set that I showed by Tim Holtz. And it's tiny text. So it makes little phrases. Allison put several different sizes of hearts down the left-hand side. And I believe she had some felt ones there too. I'm not going to have felt. I'm just going to have the pattern paper, but I am going to add foam tape underneath some of them to give them a little more dimension. And there's my stamping. I didn't use that whole sheet, well, the whole thing of stamps. I did stamp the whole thing out, but I only cut a few phrases out. And it says, be your beautiful self, shine like the stars, and love you to the moon and back. And I'm just going to put them under the photo where she has probably journaling above her right photo. I am going to put mine down there. It seemed the best place after I started putting everything together. And I did layer those phrases. I put some of the pink that's behind the photo and then some of the wood grain behind there too. So it does have 2 layers behind each phrase. It will take me a few minutes to add all these hearts on here. And once I add them, I will be adding those little fussy cut flowers over to the left. I don't think hers has flowers on there. I don't have it in here, and it's pretty small on the screen. But I was wanting flowers. Little Gracie's outfit that she has on has little pink roses on it, so I wanted to add the pink roses. Her mama sent me this photo one morning and it was like sort of like a selfie, only my niece only had her arm there and her kind of nestled in her arm. I took the background out because an arm wasn't very flattering, and put the wood grain behind there. And that's why I ended up using wood grain on the layout. But she looked so adorable, I couldn't resist. She also put love up there in that headband flower. I left it there because I thought that is so cute. She personalized it and put that there when she sent it. So I'm leaving it there. And I think she'll appreciate her arm being gone too. Um, I was complaining about not getting any photos, so she sent me one just so you all know. But then she sent me a whole bunch one day without even being prompted, which I was thrilled about. But Gracie was only a couple of months old here and just so sweet, a little doll. I think I'm about done putting the hearts on, so like I said, the next thing is the flowers. So I'm going to kind of scatter them around the layout, and some will end up on foam tape and some not. And when you see the photos at the end, I will add one more flower. And it'll be down there in the bottom left-hand corner. It's kind of bare over there. And when I was taking the pictures, I thought, that looks pretty bare. Maybe I should add something. Well, I used all my fussy cut flowers, so I had to cut one more. But yeah, it will have one more flower down in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm adding some Spiegelmom scraps, papaya punch sequence, and then I think I'll be done with the layout. So while I'm doing that, I want to mention that down there below, you'll see the links to everybody else that are doing the Scrap 5 this month. Awesome scrappers, and you'll get lots of inspiration from them. We love to share our layouts, as y'all can tell. And we love to see it when you all create one. So don't forget hashtag Scrap5 on Instagram. We love to see what y'all do with the same recipe. But yeah, that's it, except for that bottom left-hand corner. And see, just a little small flower down there. Yeah, I thought it needed a little something. And yeah, and there's just sweet little Gracie. And I got all 5 things on here, the whole Scrap 5 recipe, which was scrap lift to layout, hearts, cardstock background, splatters, and stamping. And wasn't that the perfect layout to scrap lift to use that stuff? I was going through looking at layouts and I found a few, and then I seen this one on Facebook. I mean, she had just posted it. Oh, that's it. That's the one. So yeah, I'm scrap lifting it. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But I hope y'all have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the little hop. Take care and stay safe. Bye.